And then finally, the importance of a licensed route to market.
Okay, so how can blockchains be used to record and share data? So it's really all about trust. So the quality and the integrity of a green financial products data are vital for a token to have any value.
And the flip side of that is, a product issuer needs to be able to record and store its data efficiently and transparently. That also means that, just importantly, a potential product purchaser must be able to verify the data's authenticity and its collection methodology. So as I'm sure you know from traditional finance, that the verification exercise
has been traditionally a very labor-intensive and costly process that requires extensive human involvement. This in turn introduces the possibility of human error and fraud. However, blockchain's trustless nature reduces such possibilities. Hashing data onto a token creates an immutable and a transparent data record, and this simplifies due diligence and therefore the valuation of tokens. This in turn should encourage the token's liquidity. So how can tokens be used to raise capital for green projects? So green projects might have long potential durations, but not actually earn capital immediately. So for example, it might take several years for a carbon credit project to start producing such credits and begin earning revenue. So accordingly, raising seed capital is a common problem for the sector. So what projects does a green project have? So a green project, firstly, could sell carbon credits as forwards, for example. So this would allow it to receive funds upfront, but only need to deliver such credits later. Given the transparency that blockchains offer, tokenized forward credits could be priced more accurately. This is particularly important for carbon credits sold as forwards, since their value tends to decline over time. Investors would obviously appreciate the real-time ability to discern any difference between a credit's discounted forward price and the sale price of the issued credit.
A green project could also raise capital by issuing bonds. This would allow the project to receive funds up front and pay bondholders interest as the product earns revenue. I've actually advised on a tokenized bond that allowed investors to access
real-time information about the underlying project, such as information about the project's carbon footprint. The predictable nature of bond coupon payments lends itself to automation using smart contracts. This has significant efficiency benefits for token issuers. So I'm going to go through, this is a Hong Kong example. So you might have heard of Project Genesis. This was a Hong Kong government $800 million tokenized green bond offer. So it was quite simple. It was done via Goldman Sachs' blockchain network. So this was on a private basis. So all trading was done on a DVP basis. And it's purely OTC. So there's no exchange secondary market liquidity in this case. So another interesting use case for how tokens can be used to grow green projects is using decentralized physical infrastructure networks, or DPINs. So we find this is quite an interesting use case and something on which Hashkey is focusing. We see this as an attractive model for green projects, because the way it would work is normally if you have an infrastructure project, say for example if you're building a network of street maps or electricity or pipelines, you would rely on a government or a consortium of deep-pocketed investors to finance your project. Now that's obviously quite expensive and quite time-consuming, and it means that the number of people who could do this is quite small. What DPIN allows you to do is to set up a network from scratch and then reward contributors by incentivizing them with tokens. The advantage of that, obviously, is that you are crowdfunding infrastructure. So you can bootstrap a network from nothing, and then as the participants grow and scale the model, the tokens that are issued as rewards to incentivize the participants become more valuable. So I'll give you an example of Arcree, which is a Hashkey client. So Hashkey Tokenization actually designed the tokens for Arcree network. So that's a DPIN for renewable energy resources connection and monetization. So it records individual environmentally friendly actions, which include activities such as household solar power generation, energy efficient home air conditioning, and the use of electric vehicles. So quantifying those green actions and their impact actually became a reliable climate action footprint for participants. So that data not only served as an endorsement to issue green assets, but was also used as the basis for distributing token awards to contributors to their climate actions. So how can tokens be used to grow green projects? So obviously, as I've explained already, the advantages of fast scaling. So you're using individual participants to take part in the network and grow it as they go. The next point is community-owned assets align interests with users. As I've described, normally the kind of people that develop infrastructure could be a toll road operator or a government, and their needs and demands are not necessarily aligned with the users. For example, a government could increase toll road fees without any recourse to the people who actually use that fee, that road. Next thing is open governance. Again, instead of just being a company that would decide to run a toll road for its own benefit, if the actual users have a say in how the network is operated, there's an obvious advantage there. Cost effectiveness, because you are effectively outsourcing the cost of running the network to community members. Decentralization, you're not having one central decision maker to make all of the decisions on behalf of that network. And resilience, in that there's no single point of failure. The disadvantages are obviously raising necessary capital, in that you don't have the money ready to go. You are asking some community members to take part. And then dilutionary incentive models. Obviously, as the model grows, you are issuing more tokens, and there is a risk that does dilute the value of the tokens. So the next topic I'd like to discuss is how a virtual asset trading platform can actually facilitate liquidity and unlock value for green financial products. So a VATP can facilitate investment, capital allocation, and economic growth. So liquid 24/7 platforms such as Hashkey, with close to real-time settlement, can efficiently raise capital for green projects. It can also help with establishing a market price for green financial products. This in turn makes it much easier for such products to be used as collateral because their value becomes much more transparent. And finally, there's the importance of a license route to market. It's all well and good to have tokens, but you actually need to be able to do something with them. So, as you might have heard, there have been, during the crypto winter, several high-profile scandals involving unlicensed entities, including in so-called crypto-friendly jurisdictions. At Hashkey, we consider that regulation is actually a competitive advantage, not a roadblock for a jurisdiction, so long as it is robust and clear. And we consider that as investment-grade assets become increasingly mainstream, investors and issuers are seeking clear and safe routes to market and expecting comprehensive investor protection, which is a key focus of the SFC. And as you might be aware, Hashkey has the full set of licenses necessary for virtual assets. We have a virtual assets Type 1 license to deal in securities. We have a Type 4 license to advise on those securities. Type 7, which is our automated trading platform or our exchange. And we have an asset management license. We also have a TCSP license, which is for trustee and custodial purposes. So in conclusion, tokenized green financial products represent a groundbreaking approach to sustainable investing in the digital age. By leveraging blockchain technology, they unlock new opportunities to support environmentally friendly products, promote liquidity, enhance transparency, and drive positive environmental change. Thank you very much.
Great stuff.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.